Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Moonriver. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now let's jump straight into the charts. Taking a look at the daily chart, you can see that we have a support level that we just lost recently at $6.11 roughly, and I was expecting this because, like I said, with the FUD that was thrown into the markets, we were very close to the support level here, and we also had a descending resistance trend line that was suppressing us down, and lo and behold, we dropped and this was quite a significant drop in just a few days. So from January 7th from June 7th to June 10th, we saw a 36% drop, which is quite significant. Now, at this point, Moonriver obviously is a low cap gem. The market cap is way below $100 million, and we're currently sitting at $4.95. Now, once again, if your average buy-in price is anywhere above, $20, I think it is imperative for you to buy in right now and bring down that average price if you are looking to hold this long term, of course. And I would suggest you start staking your coins as soon as possible, because you do not want to simply hold them in your wallet when you're able to make passive income. You want your money to start making you more money. And once we get to the next bull market and our targets are met, we can start taking profits. But for us to set those targets, obviously, we can use the previous trading ranges here. We can use previous resistance zones, but we can also use the Fibbonacci retracement. Now, to do that, we need a solid bottom. We need to know that we printed the bottom. Now, once we printed the January low and we had the move to the upside, I kept telling you guys, as long as we are below the August low, I'm not going to say that we have printed the bear market low. Or the August high, sorry. So I kept saying that we need to break above the August high, which was at roughly $20.80. So if you were to break above that, back test it as support, consolidate above it, then I would say this is probably your low. That did not happen, and I said that, there is always a possibility for us to drop lower, and that's exactly what happened. We dropped lower. So you were advised, you were aware. Hopefully you had some money on the side just to buy in for this dip. I know some people are buying in crazy into Moonriver, and you know who you are. So yeah, I can't really say where we're going to bottom because we don't have any previous history, just like with GLMR. If there is no history, I'm not going to be guessing. I'm not going to tell you we're going to bottom out at, $4 just because I think that's a nice number. No. We are potentially going to be going back down. We actually do have a few support levels based on the fib that we're going to take a look at. But seeing what we have here on the charts, our local bottom right now is going to be sitting at $3.94. So that is going to be your major support level to hold, because you can see we had a massive wick to the upside. So a lot of people started buying up Moonriver at these prices because they thought this was too cheap for them. So they started buying in. And I do think there's a good possibility that we're going to have a bit of a retracement here to the upside. We're going to get a rejection from the 20 MA, and then we're going to come back down to $3.93, and we're going to fill this entire wick. So once we fill this wick and we hopefully bounce off $3.93, we're going to see a bit of a stronger move to the upside, maybe all the way back here to the white trend line, and we back test that as resistance one more time before inevitably going even lower or printing a double bottom pattern, whatever happens. So that's something to consider. Now, we also dropped below $6.11, and we obviously haven't retested that as resistance. So potentially we're going to start creating this local uptrend. We get to $6.15, and then we continue back down. That is also a possibility. Long term, I am bullish on Moonriver. These prices are not scaring me. I'm probably going to buy in a bit more Moonriver. My patrons will be advised. Obviously, they're going to get all of my buy alerts first. And yeah, I'm not really scared. A lot of people are getting bearish, but this is just another opportunity to fill up your bags and wait for the bull market, the inevitable bull market. Now, taking a look at the daily RSI, we are below this support block between 32 all the way down to 26.4 on the index, and We were below actually, and now we are back in it. And every single time you retested this area, you had a massive, massive move to the upside. Well, sometimes massive, sometimes not so much. For example, the May move into June was not that massive, but still it was a move nonetheless. And still you're below the index of 30, so this is a pretty good buying opportunity as we are oversold, guys. Once you're oversold, you know, you're looking at a good potential good short to midterm trade, because even if you're looking to take profits fairly soon, you can buy in right now, and you're looking at a 15% to the 20 MA, and you're looking at 23% to the $6.11 mark, which is our previous support turned resistance. Now let's switch over to the weekly chart. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Taking a look at the weekly chart here, you can see that we kind of have a symmetrical triangle playing out. So we have this resistance here, and we have this support below. So let me just draw this out properly for you. So this would be your, I'm going to change the color of the trend line. So that's going to be your resistance, and this was your support. And you lost the support. So now to check what our target to the downside is going to be, we obviously take a trend line and we drag it all the way down here, but it's going to get into, you know, some crazy numbers here. So we're not really going to expect to meet $1.82 because that would be unrealistic. What we did is we have a Fibonacci retracement from the high in February to the low of January this year, and the 1.414 is currently holding us as support at $4.84, and the 1.618 is sitting at $4.30. We talked about this in the previous update. $4.30 still possible, and I wouldn't discount even going below that, because as always, we don't know where we are going to bottom out. I'm just giving you some good levels that are potentially going to hold us based on the fib. Now you can also see that we do have multiple bounces off of this descending support trend line. So potentially we could even bottom out somewhere around $3.50, which is the second fib level here, because that is where the descending support trend line is going to meet the price action if we do end up dropping down there in the next few weeks. So $3.50 is also not off the charts, because you've been adhering to the support and resistance so far of this channel down pattern. There's no reason for us to say that we're not going to come back down to this support, have a bounce, and have a move to the upside back to the resistance here. So anything can happen, but if you're bullish long term on the project, there is no reason to be scared. If you're averaging in, you're staking, you're making that passive income, and you're going to be taking profits, let's say $100, $150, $200, you should be good to go, and you know, the profits are still going to be amazing. For example, if your average buying price is going to be around about $6.50, and you're going to be taking profits, let's say at $100, that is 1,430% to the upside. That is pretty good. But keep in mind, this is a low cap gem at this point. We could do bigger numbers here. We could do way bigger numbers. We could do $100, we could do $200, maybe $250 if we get more demand for Moonriver. If, you know, a lot of projects are going to be tested on the Moonriver network for the Moonbeam network. So there is a lot of things that could happen. Hopefully this project is going to succeed in the future. Obviously, every project you invest into, you're taking a risk, but with the Moonriver, I think the chances of us failing are not that high. So if we take a look at the weekly RSI, the stochastic and the MACD here, we're actually on the weekly MACD is just about to print a bearish cross. So we don't have much data here, so we can ignore the MACD, but the weekly RSI, you can see that we've taken a nice move to the downside. We lost this support here, so we could be retesting that as resistance, and we can continue back down. And if we end up in the oversold on the weekly, that's even better in terms of buying in, especially for the short to mid-term range, because we're going to see a massive recovery in that case. The stochastic is all the way below the index of 20. We're sitting at, actually, right now we're sitting at around about 4. Yeah, so the last time we were this low was back in December 2022. So let's stay patient, guys. Let's stake together. Let's share our knowledge together. And at some point, we're going to be in the bull market, and all of this will look like a dream. So I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully you learned something useful. Hopefully you're taking advantage of this dip and averaging in. I want to